So for summer 2024, there are two new portable Bluetooth speakers that are competing to be at your next get-together. There's the JBL Xtreme 4, which has had some very big and important upgrades to it, and then there's the Bose Soundlink Max, which really does feel like a first-generation product. Nonetheless, if you're trying to choose between picking up either the JBL Xtreme 4 or the Bose Soundlink Max, let's see which one's right for you. Regarding pricing, both of these speakers are pretty up there. The JBL Xtreme 4 retails for $380 and the Bose Soundlink Max retails for $400. And if you want a shoulder strap, that's going to cost you an extra $45. For me, it is just much easier to justify the JBL Xtreme 4 over the Bose Soundlink Max because I do feel that the Bose Soundlink Max is grossly overpriced. Nonetheless, if you're going to pick either of these two speakers up, they'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, link down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button and let's get subscribed. So first, there's the design of these speakers. Now, both of these speakers are small enough so that they're easy enough to take on the go with you. However, the JBL Xtreme 4 is even easier to take on the go with you because it comes with a shoulder strap, and the shoulder strap has a built-in bottle opener, which is super handy. Whereas the Bose Soundlink Max, this speaker comes with a very premium braided carrying handle. But if you want a shoulder strap like the Xtreme 4, that's sold separately, and there's no bottle opener. So I feel that if you're looking for something for the beach, the Xtreme 4's included shoulder strap is super useful. However, the Bose Soundlink Max is a little smaller than the Xtreme 4, but I think that the size difference here is negligible. But interestingly enough, the Bose is a little heavier, weighing in at 4.9 pounds, whereas the Xtreme 4 weighs in at 4.6 pounds. But in general, the increased density on the Bose does contribute to it feeling more premium than the Xtreme 4, because the Bose's mostly silicone body and metal faceplate just feels more premium than the Xtreme 4's mostly fabric body. But regardless, both of these speakers are very durable and they can easily stand up to abuse from bumps and scrapes, and both of these speakers are IP67 rated, so they're both dust and waterproof, and they both float in water. Now when it comes to tech specs, the Bose has an advertised battery life of 20 hours, whereas the JBL has an advertised battery life of 24 hours. However, this advertised battery life of 20 hours on the Bose is with this speaker playing at 65% volume, which is a decent listening volume. However, the Bose is a little quiet for its size and price. Whereas the Xtreme 4, it has an advertised battery life of 24 hours, but that's with it playing at 50% volume, which is comparable to the Bose playing at 65% volume. But real-world use with the Bose playing at 85% volume is going to be good for around 10 hours of playback time, and with the Xtreme 4 playing at 80% volume is going to be good for around 14 hours of playback time. And 80% volume on the Xtreme 4 is slightly louder than 85% volume on the Bose Soundlink Max. And when it comes to charging these speakers, they both charge via a USB-C port, which is super convenient because you can use your phone's charger to charge them up. And both of these speakers also come included with complete charging cables, which I feel is important to point out now because most phones these days just come with USB-C to USB-C cables. But also with both of these speakers, you can use their USB-C ports to charge your own devices, which I also feel is super convenient. However, these USB-C ports are strictly used for charging. You can't use these USB-C ports as a wired connection. However, the Bose Soundlink Max does have an audio jack, so you can use it with a wired connection, whereas the Xtreme 4 doesn't have an audio jack. Now, I don't mind that you can't use this speaker with a wired connection. However, I do feel that the Xtreme 4 should have an audio jack because the speaker is just too big and too expensive to not have one. But the Xtreme 4 does have two power features over the Bose Soundlink Max. First off, if you use this speaker while it's plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of it. It's going to get louder and it's going to have more bass, whereas with the Bose, there is no performance boost. But the biggest feature the Xtreme 4 has over the Bose is that its battery is fairly easy to remove. Now, I say that it's fairly easy because you do have to use an Allen wrench to remove these screws, and I feel that JBL used screws here to keep their IP67 rating instead of using a spring-loaded door like what's found on the PartyBox 320 or 120. But regardless, being able to fairly easily remove the battery in the Xtreme 4 means that this is either going to help extend the overall life of your speaker, or you can always get multiple batteries and just keep the party going, because the Xtreme 4 does use the same battery found in the PartyBox 320. But when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, both of these speakers can be connected to two devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ. And when it comes to latency, the Bose can be used to watch videos with on your phone, whereas I am noticing some latency with the Xtreme 4. So I do hope that JBL is able to fix that through a future software update. But when it comes to audio codecs, the Xtreme 4 only has support for SBC, whereas the Bose Soundlink Max has support for SBC, AAC, and aptX Adaptive. Just keep in mind that if you want to take advantage of aptX Adaptive, you do have to be an Android user because iPhones top out at AAC. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Regarding speaker setup, the Bose Soundlink Max has dual front-firing woofers, which are angled out a little bit. There's a single front-firing tweeter, and there are dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. Whereas with the Xtreme 4, this speaker has dual front-firing woofers, dual front-firing tweeters, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. And with both of these speakers, you can always go into their apps and you can adjust their EQ to your liking. And finally, like I mentioned earlier, with the Xtreme 4, you will get a performance boost out of it if you use it while it's plugged in, whereas with the Bose, you don't. But with all of that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. And now both of these speakers are playing at 75% volume while unplugged, and the Xtreme 4 is playing with its stock EQ. But I am going to give the Bose some help here, and we're going to use it with my preferred EQ settings, where the bass is raised by 4 clicks and the treble is raised by 5 clicks. So I decided to use my preferred EQ settings on the Bose because I wanted to help it. But in general, I can't help but feel that the algorithm on the Bose Soundlink Max likes to put an emphasis on the bass and vocals on the Bose. As a result, the speaker has an impressive amount of bass for its size. However, the overemphasis of the vocals on the speaker makes the speaker sound hollow in real life. I feel that the instrumentals are lost on the Bose quite a bit. Whereas with the Xtreme 4, the speaker also has a lot of bass to it, but it sounds a lot more balanced than the Bose because the instrumentals are a lot more prominent. But also, like I mentioned earlier, the Xtreme 4 gets louder than the Bose Soundlink Max, and for a speaker that you might want to take to the beach with you, you're going to want something loud because of all of the waves. But again, if you use the Xtreme 4 while it's plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of it. It's going to get louder and it's going to have more bass, and this could be useful for when you're using it at home. Overall, I feel the Xtreme 4 is good for like a 10-person party and the Bose is good for like an 8-person party. But performance and sound quality wise, I feel the Xtreme 4 is easily the better buy here. But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now, with the Bose Soundlink Max, you can pair it up to other Bose products like your Bose Smart Soundbar, but you have to use a simple sync. So your Bose Smart Soundbar is doing all of the work, and the Bose Soundlink Max is just there for the ride. And you can't connect the speaker to, let's say, your Bose Soundlink Flex. Whereas with the JBL Xtreme 4, first off, if you have two of the exact same speakers, then you can wisely pair them together and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. Or you can get your JBL Xtreme 4, which is an Auracast speaker, and you can pair it up to other Auracast speakers, like either a Clip 5 or a Go 4, or you can even pair it up to any of JBL's larger party box speakers that are also using Auracast, like either the Party Box 120, 320, or Ultimate. But also, Auracast is backwards compatible with JBL's older speakers that are using Party Boost. So you can pair your Xtreme 4 up to a JBL Boombox 3, a Boombox 2, an Xtreme 3, a Charge 5, a Pulse 5, a Pulse 4, or to a Flip 5 or to a Flip 6, and you can pair up to 100 speakers together and get them to all play in sync. Now, if you're going to pair an Auracast speaker to an Auracast speaker, all you have to do is just press the Auracast button on each speaker. But if you're going to connect your Xtreme 4 to a Party Boost speaker, then you're going to have to use JBL's app. So overall, if you are planning on growing your collection of speakers, JBL is clearly the way to go here, unless you really want to pair your speaker to your soundbar, which I feel is pointless. And even if you have a Bose soundbar, you can just simply use a simple sync to connect your JBL Xtreme 4 to it and get them to play in sync as well. But with all that being said, if you're trying to choose between the JBL Xtreme 4 and Bose Soundlink Max, it's a no-brainer. The JBL Xtreme 4 is clearly the better option here because it sounds better, it gets louder. If you use it while it's plugged in, you are going to get a performance boost out of it. You can swap out the batteries and you can easily grow your collection of speakers and easily pair them up and get them to play in sync. The Bose Soundlink Max feels like a beta product, and I can only justify buying it if it's heavily discounted. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.